Hello and welcome to Capacity TV. My name is Saf Malik, reporter at Capacity Media. We're here live at ITW 2023 and I'm delighted to be joined by Dean Nelson, founder and chairman of iMasons. Dean, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
The brand underwent a refresh recently. Tell us a little bit about that.
So we started iMasons in 2016 and it was to unite the builders of the digital age. And what's great is we brought together the community over the last 6-7 years. And so now it's about the next step. So we're building to a greater digital future. And that is what we want to make sure that we're focusing on with our 4 strategic pillars.
Mm-hmm. And we know diversity is pretty high on the priority list for the company. Tell us how the company is supporting women in the digital infrastructure region.
Yeah, if you look at the stats right now, we're less than 10% females in the industry. So how do we attract and retain the women in the industry themselves? So that has to be done by, if you can see it, you can be it. So we've been able to bring together the senior leaders across the industry, and we have an incredibly powerful lineup of people. And then we create these member resource groups. So I Am Women is one of them. It's our largest and most active, and I believe is most effective member resource group. And those leaders bring people together. We're in Monaco, right? We're in London, we're all the different locations like that. But that affinity group, as they come in, they have a safe place where they can come in, connect, grow, right? Give back. But then that allows us to be able to have all the other champions, right? The men in the industry to help support, right? Around all of that activity.
And of course, events for ITW are perfect for that. Mm-hmm. Moving on to sustainability, you were on the Getting to Greener data panel yesterday. What is the biggest hurdles the company's space when it comes to being green, and what is the company doing around that?
So we started an initiative called the iMasons Climate Accord last year, and that united over 200 companies towards reducing carbon in digital infrastructure and our path towards net zero. So that is focused on 3 different areas. This is within a materials of a building, so imagine concrete, steel, copper, etc. The equipment that goes in the building, and then the power that actually runs the operations in that building. You now have the embodied and the carbon intensity of that energy. So the biggest hurdle that we see is that Scope 3 emissions are 80% of the problem. Scope 3 is usually the downstream aspects that you don't have control of. So the only way that we can achieve carbon neutrality is if we work together. So by uniting those companies, over 200 again, that have $6 trillion in market cap. This is AWS, Google, Meta, Microsoft, 85 colocation companies, just all the bigger players in the industry coming together. And then I think the key that we're doing is leading with our wallets. We're changing the buying behavior. That is driving the sustainability requirements within RFPs, specs, and contracts. That is how we believe we make the biggest change in the fastest time frame.
And we've already touched upon some of the topics that you're going to be covering over the next 12 to 18 months. What other strategic priorities are there?
We have 4 of them. The first is education. So how do we attract and retain talent inside the industry itself? Then that ties back into inclusion. So just like the I Am Women's group, we also have veterans and Latinx and Millennial Gen Z, and we continue to expand to different affinity groups. Once we have that, we create this safe space where people can come in, they can be themselves, we want them to be themselves, they're part of a community that can move forward. So the third one is sustainability. This is around the Climate Accord, very specifically going after tangible actions that can make a difference. And then the final is innovation. So this is all about technology and things that can help accelerate the other 3 pillars.
Dean, thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate the time.
Awesome, appreciate it.